Gentlemen, if you've observed that your mornings seem empty, your vitality waning, and your virility no longer reacts the way it once did, this message is intended for you. Because if your penis fails to become hard as it did before, if you sense weakness, sluggishness, or a disconnection from the man you used to be, it's not due to your own fault. The true issue isn't related to your age. It's that your body lacks one basic element you ought to provide it each and every morning. And when you do that, everything, your vitality, your power, even your self-assurance, can surge back within mere days. I'm Dr. Joselyn, a specialist in men's health and a urologist boasting more than 30 years helping men past 50 reclaim their vigor in a natural way. I've witnessed men in their 60s, 70s, and even 80s recover the sort of strength and endurance they believed was lost eternally, without relying on any pill, shot, or risky stimulant. Many men assume that diminishing energy and sexual performance is simply a standard aspect of growing older, but that's untrue. Your body isn't closing down. It's anticipating nourishment once more. There's a potent natural blend available right in your kitchen that can unlock your blood vessels again, spark testosterone generation anew, and restore your sense of aliveness. And the greatest aspect is you won't have to purchase anything costly. You simply must consume this each morning. So remain with me for these upcoming few minutes, as shortly I'll reveal precisely what to consume, how it functions within your body, and how numerous men have recaptured their power and vigor through one straightforward morning practice. Before we proceed, if you haven't done so yet, please subscribe and activate the notification bell to ensure you don't miss any other men's health advice crafted specifically for you. And if this message proves useful, enter 1 in the comments. If it doesn't, enter 0 and share how I might improve the following one even more for you. All right, gentlemen, now that you've grasped why this morning practice holds such potency, let's explore further. Let's discuss what truly occurs inside your body past 60, why your power, vitality, and self-assurance begin to diminish, and how the proper morning nourishment can reverse it all. 1. The silent decline after 60. When I face men in their 60s or 70s across from me, I frequently notice the same expression in their eyes, a subdued frustration blended with acceptance. They say to me, "Doctor, I no longer feel like myself." They retain the desire, the affection, and the passion, but their bodies just fail to respond. The spark that formerly characterized them as men appears to have faded, and that awareness pains them more than they wish to acknowledge. I comprehend that sensation profoundly. I've conversed with thousands of men who believe their prime days lay behind them. They rise each morning more slowly, more weakly, and somehow less vibrant. The muscles they once prided themselves on are now softer. Their hearts pulse more slowly. Even their vigor for a morning stroll or engaging with grandchildren begins to wane. And in those private moments when nobody watches, they ponder if this is merely what occurs as you age. But here's the reality that most men fail to recognize. This downturn isn't solely aging. It's your body's method of indicating that something essential is absent. Your blood vessels forfeit flexibility, your testosterone amounts decrease, and your cells cease generating energy effectively. It's not due to you being damaged. It's because your body hungers for the correct type of sustenance. The contemporary diet, laden with sugar, processed oils, and caffeine, depletes your innate vigor rather than replenishing it. Once you surpass 60, each morning counts. Every dawn presents another opportunity for your body to mend, restore, and become stronger. However, most men commence their day with coffee and toast, never comprehending that they're omitting the exact fuel their bodies crave. I convey this to my patients constantly. Your body resembles a vehicle driven for decades. It doesn't require a fresh engine. It needs the appropriate oil to continue operating smoothly. And the positive news is, your body can rebound more swiftly than you imagine. I've observed men who sensed fatigue and helplessness recapture their drive in only a few weeks. Their posture enhances, their vitality returns, and that spark, that distinctive confidence, gradually reappears in their eyes, all from starting their mornings in a new way. You see, there's a natural blend that ancient societies have depended on for centuries to remain robust, energetic, and vital far into advanced age. It's not a pill, not a supplement, and not costly. It's something you can locate in your kitchen at this very moment, and once you initiate your day with it, you'll comprehend why men in their 70s can still sense as if they're 40 once more. Allow me to explain precisely what that morning secret entails and how it can utterly alter the manner in which you age. 2. The ancient morning duo, turmeric and honey. I still recall the initial occasion I disclosed this straightforward secret to one of my patients, a man called Robert, 71 years of age, who sat in my office with his head lowered. He informed me, "Doctor, I've attempted everything: pills, tonics, even those energy beverages. Nothing functions anymore." His voice bore the burden of frustration that countless men experience when their bodies cease cooperating. I gazed at him and stated, "Robert, you don't require another pill. What you need resides already in your kitchen." He offered me a doubtful smile, the type that implies, "Come on, Doc. It can't be that straightforward." But it is. The blend I described to him was something ancient, something our forebears understood long prior to modern medicine. Turmeric and honey, two components so commonplace that most individuals disregard their potency. Yet, when utilized together, they produce something extraordinary. Turmeric, the golden spice, serves as nature's healer. It cleanses your blood, diminishes inflammation, and fortifies your heart and blood vessels. Honey, pure and raw, acts as nature's energy source. It supplies your body with the minerals and natural elements necessary to enhance testosterone, stabilize blood sugar, and maintain vitality throughout the day. When you blend these two, something nearly magical occurs. The turmeric unlocks your blood vessels, clearing the route for enhanced circulation, while the honey energizes your body with consistent vitality and hormonal aid. I've witnessed men who couldn't ascend a flight of stairs without exhaustion suddenly rediscover their endurance after merely a couple of weeks on this regimen. And yes, the impacts extend well beyond vitality. You'll observe it in your mood, your concentration, and even in your most intimate moments. Robert adhered to the regimen I provided him. 1 teaspoon of turmeric powder combined with 2 tablespoons of raw honey each morning prior to breakfast. 2 weeks afterward, he phoned me. I could detect the delight in his voice before he uttered a word. "Doctor," he declared, "I feel alive once more. My wife can't fathom the change." That's the potency of what nature offers us when we master its proper use. What's most astonishing is how reachable this is. You don't require pricey treatments. You don't need exotic herbs. You simply must reach into your pantry and dedicate yourself to this each morning. It's not complexity that yields results, it's consistency. But here's the aspect most men never learn about: the science explaining why this simple morning blend operates so effectively within the male body. In the forthcoming section, I'll demonstrate precisely how turmeric and honey mend, arouse, and reconstruct your masculine power from within. 3. The science behind turmeric. When I describe turmeric to my patients, I frequently advise them to envision it as the silent mechanic operating inside their bodies. You don't observe it, but it's repairing the harm that's accumulated for decades. The science supporting this golden root is truly exceptional, and yet its strength resides in its simplicity. Turmeric's primary active component is known as curcumin, a natural anti-inflammatory and antioxidant, so powerful that researchers globally have devoted decades examining its influences on aging, blood flow, and hormone wellness. When you're youthful, your blood vessels remain soft and pliable, permitting blood to surge effortlessly to every segment of your body. That's why erections, vitality, and muscle recuperation all occur naturally. But as you advance in age, inflammation starts to harden those vessels. Plaque accumulates, blood flow diminishes, and the body gradually begins to forfeit its spark. Curcumin functions like a master repair expert. It purges your blood vessels, lessens inflammation, and assists oxygen and nutrients to circulate freely once more. When blood travels easily, your heart pulses more robustly, your brain reasons more clearly, and yes, your erections grow firmer and endure longer in a natural manner. But turmeric doesn't halt there. It also safeguards your prostate, reduces bad cholesterol, and bolsters your liver so your hormones remain equilibrated. I recall one of my patients, George, who informed me, "Doctor, I didn't comprehend how much pain and rigidity I had until it vanished." He had been consuming turmeric with honey for 3 weeks, and he detected not only improved vitality, but also a sense of lightness he hadn't experienced in years. That's the essence of healing from within. It doesn't merely enhance one portion of your body, it revives your whole system. What captivates me most regarding turmeric is how intelligent it proves to be. Unlike artificial drugs that compel your body in a single direction, turmeric listens. It adjusts. If your blood pressure runs high, it aids in lowering it. If your blood sugar proves unstable, it equilibrates it. It doesn't dominate your system. It synchronizes it. That's why I consistently refer to it as nature's equalizer. The reality is, your body was crafted to mend itself. You merely must supply it the proper tools. And turmeric, paired with the appropriate companion, becomes the spark that reignites all that makes you feel vibrant as a man. But turmeric by itself isn't sufficient. It requires its ideal partner to unleash its complete potential. Let's discuss that next, as this forthcoming ingredient is the one that energizes your body with the power every man past 60 urgently needs to reclaim. 4. The power of raw honey. When I discuss honey, most men regard it as a mere sweetener, something you drizzle over toast or mix into tea. But the reality is, genuine raw honey stands as one of nature's most potent remedies, particularly for men beyond 60. I still remember one of my patients, Frank, a retired firefighter in his late 60s. He entered my clinic feeling depleted. His vitality vanished, his self-assurance waning. "Doc," he stated, "I feel as if I'm operating on empty." I smiled kindly and informed him, "Frank, your body doesn't require additional caffeine or energy beverages. It needs fuel, the type nature intended for you." That's when I presented him with raw honey. Honey isn't merely sugar, it's a living restorative substance filled with minerals, enzymes, and nutrients your body can genuinely utilize. It includes boron and zinc, two minerals directly connected to testosterone generation. As testosterone increases, so does vitality, muscle power, and sexual urge. I've observed men who were fatigued and lacking motivation turn active and self-assured again just by incorporating raw honey into their mornings. It's akin to pouring high-octane fuel into a weary engine. It awakens everything. Honey also accomplishes something extraordinary for your blood vessels. It naturally boosts nitric oxide, a compound that assists them in relaxing and expanding. This mirrors the principle underlying many erectile dysfunction drugs. except honey achieves it softly and naturally, sans side effects. When your blood circulates freely, your body revives. Your heart pulses more strongly, your mind senses clearer, and your performance in the bedroom enhances naturally. But here's the caveat: most honey on store shelves isn't authentic. It's processed, overheated, and deprived of its nutrients. True raw honey possesses a rich scent, a mildly tangy flavor, and crystallizes over time. It's dense, golden, and brimming with life. When I instruct my patients to employ only raw, unfiltered honey, I'm not being selective. I'm safeguarding the potency of nature's remedy. Frank contacted me 3 weeks later. His voice brimmed with vitality. "Doc," he said, "I've begun walking again. I sleep more soundly, and my wife keeps inquiring what I've altered." That sort of delight never tires for me, as it's evidence that when you nourish your body what it truly requires, it recompenses you in manners that extend far beyond vitality. But something even more potent transpires when you merge honey with turmeric. Individually, each is exceptional. Together, they evolve into a force that can reinstate strength, endurance, and vigor more rapidly than you can envision. Let's examine how this simple fusion turns into the supreme formula for masculine vitality and performance. 5. The synergy, how they work together. The initial time I observed what occurs when turmeric and honey are merged, I couldn't fathom how swiftly men's bodies started to alter. It wasn't sorcery, it was biology functioning flawlessly as nature planned. I recall a patient named Walter, 70 years old, who informed me, "Doctor, I've experimented with every supplement available, but nothing endures." I smiled softly and stated, "That's because you've been attempting to compel your body to perform rather than assisting it to recall how." Turmeric and honey together don't compel anything. They arouse what's already within you. Here's the elegance of it. Turmeric clears the pathway and honey energizes the engine. Turmeric purges your arteries, eases your blood vessels, and allows oxygen-rich blood to circulate freely throughout your body, particularly to the organs reliant on robust circulation. Honey intervenes to nourish that system, supplying the nutrients and minerals your body requires to generate testosterone and maintain vitality. It's as if one constructs the road and the other propels the car racing along it. The outcome, a consistent increase in endurance, mood, and masculine vigor. I've witnessed this blend transform existences. Men who once sensed despair suddenly discovered their power returning. Their vitality in the morning grew, their focus honed, and their self-assurance, something many had forfeited years prior, began to radiate again. Their wives observed first. One man in his late 60s informed me, half chuckling, half proud, "Doc, I think my wife is more astonished than I am." These are the subtle triumphs that count most, the instances when a man's senses complete once more. The cause this blend succeeds so effectively is that it addresses both the heart and the hormones, the two foundations of male vigor. Turmeric guarantees your blood vessels remain clean and elastic, while honey bolsters your hormonal equilibrium and mental vitality. Together, they operate in unison, not merely to reinstate your physical function, but to reconstruct your self-assurance, drive, and passion for existence. This isn't a rapid remedy. It's a soft arousal of your innate power. When men remain steadfast with this morning ritual, the alterations extend beyond the bedroom. They begin sleeping more soundly, standing taller, and smiling more frequently. Their vitality no longer plummets in the afternoon. They sense lighter, more vibrant, and even their mood steadies. It's a transformation that emanates from within outward. And the finest part, you don't need to wait months to detect the difference. Within weeks, you'll sense your body responding as though it's expressing gratitude for finally providing it what it's lacked all these years. But understanding how they collaborate is merely the start. Next, I'll demonstrate precisely how to prepare this morning tonic correctly so you can experience the complete potency of nature's most powerful duo operating inside you each day. 6. How to prepare it. When I initially started suggesting this morning tonic to my patients, most couldn't believe its simplicity. They'd gaze at me and inquire, "That's it, doctor? Just 2 ingredients?" And I would smile because, yes, that's all it requires. Healing doesn't invariably arrive in a capsule or prescription vial. Sometimes it commences with what you already possess resting quietly in your kitchen. The secret is understanding how to prepare it properly so your body assimilates every bit of its potency. Here's what I convey to every man who comes to my clinic. In the morning prior to breakfast, take 1 teaspoon of turmeric powder and blend it with 2 tablespoons of pure raw honey. Not the processed variety found in most stores. The kind that's thick, slightly tangy, and brimming with life. Stir them in a small glass until they form a golden paste. You can consume it directly from the spoon or blend it into a cup of warm water. Not hot, as high heat ruins honey's natural enzymes. Then inhale deeply and let that initial taste remind you that you're undertaking something potent for your body today. If you're beginning, proceed gradually. Use half a teaspoon of turmeric for the first week. Allow your body to adjust and then advance to the full amount. Some men prefer taking it twice daily, morning and evening, but I always suggest commencing with the morning ritual initially. Morning is when your body's testosterone naturally peaks, your cells crave nutrients, and your metabolism is completely alert. That's when this blend performs optimally. And here's something vital I've discovered over the years. Consistency counts more than amount. Consuming this once or twice and anticipating wonders won't succeed. But consume it faithfully each morning and you'll begin to detect the shift. It might start as greater vitality during the day, reduced rigidity in your joints, or just a lighter, clearer sensation upon waking. Then gradually but certainly your self-assurance returns. You'll sense it in your body, in your mood, and even in your relationships. One of my patients, Henry, age 68, informed me, "Doctor, I've never been a morning individual, but now I genuinely anticipate it." That's the charm of this habit. It doesn't merely heal, it provides a reason to feel enthusiastic about each fresh day. And once you encounter that change, you'll comprehend why I state this tonic is merely the beginning. Because when your body begins to awaken again, something even more potent ensues. The real-life transformations of men who remained steadfast and discovered their power returning in manners they never envisioned. 7. Real-life transformations. Over the years, I've had the honor of witnessing narratives that remain with me eternally. Narratives of men who arrived at my clinic fatigued, disheartened, and quietly persuaded that their prime days had passed. One of them was Michael, 66 years old, a former teacher who sat opposite me and stated, "Doctor, I'm not the man I once was. I feel vacant inside." His blood pressure was elevated, his vitality low, and his self-assurance diminishing rapidly. I informed him the same as I've informed hundreds of men previously. Provide your body what it requires each morning, and it will start to recall how to be robust again. Michael heeded that counsel earnestly. Each morning he blended turmeric with raw honey as I demonstrated. 2 weeks later, I received an email from him. The subject line read simply, "It's working." He informed me that he'd begun awakening with vitality, sleeping more soundly, and sensing that spark return in ways he hadn't experienced for years. His wife detected it before he did. She informed him, "You're smiling again." And that, to me, represents true healing, not merely physical alteration, but emotional revival. Then there was Arthur, 73, a retired mechanic. When he first came, he quipped that he felt more like the car he used to fix, old and out of sync. But after a month on the turmeric and honey regimen, he returned grinning. Doc, he said, the engine's operating again. His blood flow enhanced, his endurance returned, and his marriage felt vibrant for the first time in years. These moments remind me why I pursue what I do. Because when a man's vigor returns, so does his sense of purpose, his laughter, and his hope. I've heard innumerable narratives like theirs. Men who believed age had stripped everything from them only to learn that all they required was the proper habit. Some observed results in days, others in weeks, but all sensed one shared element, a potent reconnection to themselves. It's not a miracle, it's the body mending as it was intended. And if you're listening now, pondering if it could succeed for you, let me guarantee that it can. Because underlying every one of these transformations is a simple reality. The human body, even after 60 or 70 years, still recalls how to flourish when you grant it the opportunity. But to genuinely comprehend why this change endures and how to maintain your vitality, your power, and your manhood vibrant for life, you must know what transpires inside your body when this routine integrates into your life. That's what we'll investigate next. 8. What happens inside your body when you make this golden tonic a part of your morning routine? Something extraordinary starts to occur within you. At first, you might not even detect it. You'll simply feel somewhat lighter, perhaps more alert in the morning and a bit more vibrant. But deep within your body, genuine repair is occurring. I've observed it innumerable times in men of all ages from 60 to 80 and further. And their blood begins to circulate freely once more. Their hormones start to rebalance, and the years of sluggishness and weariness gradually dissolve. Here's what's genuinely transpiring. The turmeric commences purifying your blood vessels like a natural plumber. It scrubs away small obstructions that limit the flow of oxygen-rich blood to your heart. And once you encounter that change, you'll comprehend why I state this. Tonic is merely the beginning. Because when your body begins to awaken again, something even more potent ensues. The real-life transformations of men who remained steadfast and discovered their power, returning in manners they never envisioned. 7. Real-life transformations. Over the years, I've had the honor of witnessing narratives that remain with me eternally. Narratives of men who arrived at my clinic fatigued, disheartened.